Okay, this is take 3 on data mining, so we'll see how this goes. I'm going to go into the virtual machine. Let me maximize it. Okay, so here we are in the SQL Server Management Studio. This is the data warehouse that we've created, and we created the SSIS in order to be able to populate it when we need. Now, there are a couple of things that we need to do before we can proceed with the analysis. One of them is that we need to change the user to local authority. I've already done this in my previous attempts, so I'll just show you how to do it and what needs to be done. But it's already set on mine. So I'm going to do computer management. So I right-click on the Windows icon and I go up to computer management. It will launch the computer management console. We want services and applications, and then SQL Server configuration, and then SQL Server services. All right, so we want the analysis server right here, and we want to get the properties. In yours, it will be this account, and there will be an account here that will be listed. But we don't want that. We want built-in count, and you want to choose local service. All right, so that is what you want. And then when you apply that, it's going to tell you that the service will be restarted. You say yes, and let it restart. It takes it just a moment. When it's done, you can close this, and you can close this. Now, there's another part of this. You also need to go into the security folder for the server, the one that's outside of any database, and then open it and go to logins. Let me zoom that because that's tiny. So you want to go to logins. You want to right-click on logins, and you want to do a new login. I'm going to go through all the steps, but I'll cancel it at the very end because my login already exists. So you want to search for the login. You want to go to advanced, and then you want to go to find now, and it will list all the logins. The one that you want is local service. You want to do OK, and then you want to do OK. Then you want to go to user mapping. You want to click on Metro Alt-DW, and down here in the database roles, you want to give a data reader and data writer. And then you want to do OK. I'm going to cancel because I've already got a user of this name. All right, so you can see in my logins, all right, I have local service, and in the security folder for the Metro Alt-DW, under users, I also have the local service. The analysis package will fail without that change in users. All right, so I am going to bring up Visual Studio. Don't want the installer. Just go back. Why is it giving me problems here? I just want Visual Studio 2017, but it's not actually showing me. There it is, right at the top. Just because I was in Zoom. No, that's the installer. I don't want the installer. All right, if that fails, let's go down here and scroll down to V for Visual Studio 2017. We also want, I didn't want to start it there. We want to start it with admin. So I am going to close. I'm going to go back to where I saw it before. So we go down to Visual Studio, DTS, and we want to right click, More, Run as Administrator. And yes. Okay. I don't know if I'll keep it at this zoom, but all right. So we want to start a new project. And we want that project to be an analysis services, multidimensional, and data mining. I'm going to call it Metro Alt DW. Let's just call it mining. We're going to do a cube first, but let's do OK. All right. So we'll see how this goes. I have been having problems trying these. This is, as I said, the third take. We need over here in the Solution Explorer, it has a set of folders. And to some extent, what we're going to do is we're going to work our way through them. So one of the things I'm going to do is do a new data source. It gives us a little wizard. We'll see this again. You can get rid of the splash screens if you want. All right, I am going to say create it from an existing or new connection and use the DW connection. You may have this connection from your SSIS thing. If not, you can do new. You can do localhost and select the DW. You've seen this dialog before. I'm going to cancel this because I'm going to use the existing connection. All right. I'm going to do next. Okay, and we're going to use the service account, which is what all that earlier stuff was about. So I'm going to do next. There's our connection string. It's fine. I'm going to do finish. So we have our data source. So next I'm going to do a data source views, and I'm going to click new data source views. We get our little wizard again. I'm going to do next. We're going to use Metro Alt DW. We could do a new data source here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to select everything except the sys diagrams and move them over. Oops, I took the sys diagrams too, so let's take it back. There's really no related tables to add, so I'm going to do next. This looks good, and I'm going to do finish. And it has created a view. If we double click it, it'll show us the basic design of this view. There's really not much to do with that. So now before I do the cubes, I'm going to also add some dimensions. I'm going to do new dimension, and I got another wizard here. We want to use existing tables. And I think that's all we want to do, though I've been having some problems here. So we've got dim bus. Dim bus key, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to add bus key, bus type description, bus type purchase price. That looks good. I'm going to finish it. And it looks fine. I'm just trying to think of what I did last time that caused it to fail. I'm going to do dimensions. I'm going to do a new dimension. I am going to do next. Use an existing table. Oh, I want to use existing table. I don't want to do that. I want to do next. This time we will do the date. I will do next. I want the bus schedule assignment date, the year, and the month. I'm going to finish this. Now, I did a hierarchy here. I am going to do date, month, and year. And I think I'm just going to leave it at that, although we could set that up a little bit more of a hierarchy. There's in the attribute relationship, it shows this. I'm going to leave it because it worked before, but we could arrange those a little bit differently. All right, so I'm going to go down here and I'm going to add another dimension. And we'll use an existing table. And we'll do employee, although I don't really want employee. So I'm not going to use employee key there. We'll use a position name, hire date, and rate. Hopefully this won't cause an error. All right. So I'm going to do a new dimension. And we'll do the wizard again, existing table, next. So we've done, let's do route. And we definitely want the bus route zone, and we do want the route key. So I'm going to do next, and I'm going to finish that. One more dimension, I think. Next. Use an existing table. We don't want to do that. What I just did, we want to do next. This time it is schedule. And I think we want, let's don't do the employee key. Let's just do those two. Okay, so I don't know. Those should be fine, but sometimes I have trouble here. I'm going to now do a new cube. Again, same old wizard. All right, so we're going to use existing tables. I am going to do next. So the measure group will be the fact schedule. I'm going to do next. Going to do next. We want all of these for dimensions. Next. That looks good. Going to do finish. And I'm going to really hope that this will build and process. So I'm going to build it. We look. It did build. There were warnings. I'm not going to worry too much about the warnings. I'm going to try to process the cube. So I'm going to right-click on the cube and process. I'm going to say yes to updating the server. You'll see it goes over here. All of that worked fine. Now we have this and we want to say run. And this is where I've been failing. So let's hope it doesn't fail this time. I think it's going to go. Yes, it succeeded this time. Yay, not sure what I did differently, but this time it succeeded. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this. We've run it. We have the process. Now look up here. You'll see that we have, and I'm also going to close that. We have lots of different things that we could do. You could add some calculations. You could figure out how the dimensions are being used. You could figure out lots of different things, but we're just going to skip to the browser. Okay. So the browser is basically a multi-dimensional pivot table. So what I'm going to do, I am going to select a dimension. So let's do a route. Well, let's do a date. In the hierarchy, I can do, let's do year. Maybe let's do month. And operator is equal. And what is it that we want to equal? Oh, so we could determine which month we want. Let's do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I think what it's going to do is it's going to put all of these. Now, what we need to do now is figure out what we're measuring for those times. So in our fact schedule, we have the count. Let's do the fares per route, and we'll do the riders. And we'll execute the query, and this is what we got for those months. So let's do dim date. Dim date. Let's do, instead of month, let's do year. I guess we'll do all. Okay. And then let's do route. And what we want to do is we want the bus route zone, and we want it equal to, and we'll look and we can see we have Seattle, Tukwila, Kent. Let's do Tukwila. It'll probably be fairly small. So that, and then if we execute the query, we'll see that for the year, and there should be a year, we did for all. Let's choose a particular year. Let's choose 2013. Oh, that's all in 2013. Let's do just 2013. It will re-execute the query. So these are how many, the count of that, the fares, and the number of riders for 2013 in Tukwila. If we were to change this to, say, Seattle, so let's just do Seattle and re-execute the query, we'll see that it has quite a bit more, particularly the fares. I'm not sure if the fares is calculating right, but we'll let that go. All right, so that's what a cube looks like. So if you can get that far, we can call it good. I'm going to try a mining structure. So I'm going to right click on that, and I'm going to do a new mining structure. I am going to do next. We're going to do from an existing database or warehouse. We're going to do a decision tree. So these are all there. I'm going to do next. We're going to add schedule, fact schedule. What are we trying to do? We want input tables. So let's do, actually will only let us do one of these as the case. Let's do fact schedule as the case. Let's do next. So the key will be, let's do route as the key. The input will be the schedule key. Can we do the date key? Yeah, we can do a few. Let's bring in a, I'm going to bring in a lot of the, oops, I can't do that because that one's, and we want to predict the fare as per route. Can we predict the riders too? Yeah, let's do that. Don't know that this will work, so I'm going to do next. I am going to, they say continuous. Let's change them to discrete, even though I'm not entirely sure what that does. All right, I'm going to do next. 30 looks good. I'm going to do next. I am going to finish. So there's my fact schedule. All right, so got the mining model, the mining prediction. Let's look at the mining model viewer. This will take it a while. Yes, we want to build it. Yes. And I'm actually going to lower the zoom on this. Yes. So we need to run this. And hopefully it'll go without error. So it succeeded with warnings, which is fine. I just think the data isn't very meaningful. So we close that. I'm going to close these things. Oh, it actually didn't find the tree. Let's look at the, I had some neat stuff the last time I did that. So what did I do that's wrong here? So it's not showing what I wanted to show here. Tell you what though, rather than keep going on this, I will maybe do some more with it later with the data mining, but I will add some links for the data mining so that you can try it on your own. You might have more success. So let me, I'm going to kill this video and then I will post it and then I will post some links. As I said, if you could just get through the cube, I will be happy. All right, so I'm going to exit the virtual machine and stop the video.